I'm Tomasz Kacała, Data Solutions Manager at Conectys, and together with Alexandra Michaj, Senior Data Engineer, and Marina Stefan, Data Scientist, we will demonstrate how the conversational AI and Microsoft Data Agent turn data into action. The name of our topic is Conversational AI meets Microsoft Data Agents to improve customers' experience. You will see how an expiring subscription automatically triggers a personalized AI-powered voice interaction. Let's start with the problem. In many subscriptions-based businesses, engagement is still reactive. Notifications are often sent through email or SMS, but these channels are easily to miss and rarely feel personal. The business impact is clear: late renewals, increased revenue loss and churn risk, and the customer interaction layer. This is why we summarize the challenge with one clear statement. Communication is reactive but not intelligent. Our objective is to turn data into real-time conversations. So instead of treating analytics as something passive, like reports or dashboards, we want data to directly trigger an action. In this scenario, subscription data becomes the signal, and AI becomes the decision layer, and voice becomes the customer experience channel. The result is more proactive outreach, better timing, and the customer interaction that feels more natural and useful. To make that possible, we combine several services into one end-to-end architecture. Here you can see the full solution architecture. At the high level, the flow is simple. Data is stored and refreshed in Microsoft Fabric. Azure AI Foundry acts as a orchestration layer, and Logic App execute the action. And ElevenLabs, as our conversational AI engine, delivers the voice interaction with our customers. We designed that stack so each component has a clear responsibility. Alexandra, could you tell us a little bit about this architecture?
Of course. Microsoft Fabric starts by storing and preparing the data within a lakehouse architecture, ensuring that all data is centralized, well structured, and ready for analysis. This provides a reliable foundation that keeps everything consistent and easy to manage. On top of this, we have the Fabric Data Agent that exposes structured access to the data, allowing AI systems to interact with it in a simple and intuitive way without needing to deal with complex queries or underlying technical details. Building further on this layer, Azure AI Foundry acts as the orchestration engine, analyzing the available data and intelligently deciding what action should be taken based on the context and intent. Once a decision is made, Logic Apps seamlessly take over to execute those actions, integrating with other systems where needed. Finally, ElevenLabs enhances the user experience by delivering the output through natural voice interaction, creating a smooth, responsive, and fully connected end-to-end solution.
Yes, so once the data is available, Azure AI Foundry interprets the signal and decides what to do next, and it invokes the right tool. This is the overall solution, and this is the architecture which we decided to use in building our solution, which will be presented to you shortly. The scenario is straightforward. Expiring subscription notification to our customers. The system detects whose subscription are close to expire, for example, within the next couple of days, and based on that signal, the workflow triggers an outbound AI call to the customer. The customer is informed in the natural language, and we can ask the questions to that customer and guide that customer into a renewal action. So this is not just a reminder, but it's a conversation driven by the data. To make that possible, the quality and accessibility of the data layer is critical, and Alexandra on the next slide will take us through that part of Fabric Data Agent.
The data is first stored in Microsoft Fabric's Lakehouse, where it is organized, structured, and prepared for use, creating a clean and reliable foundation for everything that follows. On top of this foundation, the Fabric Data Agent introduces an abstraction layer that simplifies how we interact with structured data, removing much of the underlying complexity. As a result, instead of writing complex queries or dealing directly with the data model, we can simply express our intent in a more natural way, and the system takes care of retrieving the relevant contextual information for us. This makes the entire process more intuitive, efficient, and accessible, especially when integrating with AI-driven scenarios.
So, for example, we can ask the question to our data: find customers with subscriptions expiring in 7 days. And this is possible with Fabric Data Agent. Regarding orchestration, here we have selected the Azure AI Foundry Agent. which is the central intelligence layer of the solution. In this role, it's not only the access to the data, but it's also interpreting the situation. It understands the intent, queries the data agent when needed, it evaluates the business condition, and decide what should happen next. In other words, this is the brain of the system, which combines the customer context with available tools and turn that into specific action path. And once the agent will decide to do that, we need to execute it reliably. So Marina will show how that happens in the action layer. Marina?
Sure, thank you, Tomasz. We move into the action layer powered by Azure Logic Apps, and this is really where everything starts to come together. Once AI Foundry triggers the process, Logic Apps picks it up and takes care of the execution. It runs the workflow behind the scenes, selecting the right customer context and calling the service that will actually start the voice interaction. So instead of just identifying what needs to happen, this layer is responsible for making it happen. And what's really important here is reliability. Everything runs in a controlled, traceable way, which means we can connect systems, execute actions, and keep full visibility over the process. And once that workflow is in motion, we get to the final step, the part the customer actually experiences.
And of course, we have our conversation layer within our solution, and here we have ElevenLabs Conversational AI engine. Marina, could you tell us a little bit more about this solution?
Yes, this is where the solution becomes real from the customer's perspective. The ElevenLabs handles the voice interaction, taking everything we have built so far, the logic, the context, and turning it into a live conversation. And this is more than just text to speech. The interaction is dynamic, context aware, and responsive. It actually feels like a conversation, not just a system message. And so instead of sending a simple reminder, we can say something like, "Hi, John, your subscription expires in 5 days. Would you like me to help you renew it?" And that's the real shift here. We are not just notifying users anymore, we are engaging them. And now let's bring all of these pieces together and see how it works end to end.
Yes, so this slide presents the complete end-to-end flow. So from the data to the conversation and then back to the data. First, subscription data is updated in Fabric. Then Azure AI Foundry detects the relevant condition, in this case an upcoming expiration of subscription. And next, the Foundry agent queries the Fabric data agent to retrieve the customer and subscription details. Once the context is ready, it calls Logic Apps, which triggers the ElevenLabs agent. The customer receives the AI-powered call, and so what we have here is a closed-loop architecture: data, decision, action, interaction, and outcome capture. With that in mind, let's move to the walkthrough. We will show you how it works in practice. This is our conversational AI demo orchestrator. This is AI Foundry agent, which has been configured in AI Foundry project. And of course, we are planning to ask him a question. Show me the subscriptions which are expiring in this week, and call the customers. Before I will hit enter, just to let you know, this is the live demo, so it hasn't been pre-recorded. Also, Marina, Alexandra, and myself, we will receive the calls. Of course, we've configured our telephone numbers to be called in. We've configured our records in the database, so we will be the customers, pretending that we are the customers for which the subscriptions are expiring in this week. So this is the question which is going to our orchestrator and agent, and now he's connecting with the Fabric data agent, and he is verifying in the data which subscriptions are expiring in this week. And of course, we should start receiving the calls immediately once he will find our records in the system. And you can see that our records have been displayed. Right now we are receiving the phone call into our mobiles, and we are picking up those phones and we are starting discussions. Marina, could you put on mute yourself?
Hello, my name is Shelby AI Agent, and I'm calling from company regarding an important matter about your account. Do you have a moment to speak?
Yes, I can speak.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Could you speak up a bit? I want to make sure I understand you correctly.
Hey Shelby, yes, of course I can speak.
Thank you for confirming. Before we get started, I just need to verify I'm speaking with the right person. Am I speaking with Tomas Kakala?
Yes, that's my name and surname.
Perfect. Thank you for confirming that, Tomas. I appreciate it. I'm calling today because your subscription for the AI add-on is approaching its expiry date, and I wanted to reach out to make sure we can keep your service active without any interruption. Is now still a good time to chat about this?
Yes, let's speak about it.
Great, thank you. So, Tomas, your AI add-on subscription is set to expire soon, and we want to make sure you have all the information you need to renew and keep everything running smoothly. Before we talk about renewal options, I'd like to understand your situation a bit better. Is there anything that might prevent you from renewing your subscription right now?
To be honest, not. Sorry, I just forgotten about that subscription, and thank you for reminding me with this call.
No need to apologize at all, Tomas. That happens to everyone. I'm really glad we could reach out and remind you. So, would you be interested in renewing your subscription to keep your AI add-on active?
Yes, please.
Wonderful, Tomas. I'm glad we can get this sorted for you. So, we have a couple of options available to keep your service going. You can renew with the AI add-on free plan, or we also have a 30% enterprise save option if you'd like to explore that. How long would you like to renew your subscription for? Would 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months work best for you?
I can renew for about 6 months, but regarding those discounts, could you select for me the most appropriate one?
Of course, Tomas. Based on your needs, I'd recommend the 30% enterprise save option. It gives you great value and helps you save on your renewal while keeping all the features you need active. So let me confirm with you. You'd like to renew your AI add-on subscription for 6 months with the 30% enterprise save option. Does that sound right?
That sounds good. Let's go with that option. Thank you.
Excellent, Tomas. I'm so glad we could get this sorted for you today. So, to confirm, you're all set to renew your AI add-on subscription for 6 months with the 30% enterprise save option. Your renewal is now complete, and your service will continue without any interruption. Thank you so much for choosing to renew with us, and please don't hesitate to reach out if you need anything else in the future. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for choosing to renew with us, and please don't hesitate to reach out if you need anything else.
Thank you very much. Okay, so my conversation has finished. And how about yours, Alexandra and Marina?
Yes.
What was your impression?
So the conversation felt very natural, like I was speaking to a human, not an AI agent. So that's really interesting.
That sounds great.
For me-
And you, Marina?
Yes, for me she was calm, supportive, and was easy to talk to, and this made the conversation feel comfortable rather than scripted.
That sounds great. So maybe now we can go into technical part of our solution, and maybe let's present how it has been developed. So let's have a look into the foundation layer, our MS Fabric workspace. We've deployed the services which we wanted to use for this demo. Alexandra, could you tell us a little bit about the services which we used?
Of course. So we have the lakehouse, which is the most important part, and it serves as the foundation for our entire solution, where all the data is stored, structured, and prepared for use. Within the lakehouse, we can leverage tools like pipelines to ingest and orchestrate data flows and notebooks to transform, enrich, and analyze the data, ensuring it is always clean, consistent, and ready for downstream scenarios. This makes the lakehouse a central scalable layer that supports both data engineering and analytics. Building on top of this foundation, we have the Fabric Data Agent that works directly with the lakehouse tables, providing a simplified and structured way to access the data. Instead of interacting with the raw data or underlying complexity, the data agent abstracts everything into an easy-to-use interface, allowing us to retrieve the information we need in a more intuitive and efficient way, especially when integrating with AI-driven solutions.
Yes, I have opened our data agent. We can ask him if he can see any results of our conversations, our interactions from last 15 minutes. Let's see what will be the output. So he's analyzing the data from our table with the conversation results. And here we can see that summary of discussions with three of us. We have a summary of the conversation with Alexandra. So, Alexandra, you have confirmed your identity and you have expressed your interest in renewing your premium subscriptions for 12 months with 30% of saving option. And you renewed your subscription by the 15th. And on my side, as you've heard already, I was also interested in renewing my subscription for about 6 months. And Marina, we can also see the details from your side. And you have also confirmed that subscription should be renewed. So we can see all of those details. How it looks like from the Azure AI Foundry perspective. So this is our conversational AI demo orchestrator agent. He has specific instructions. In those instructions, we have written to the agent that he should call Fabric Data Agent anytime when he is being asked about expiring subscriptions. And also he has been asked to trigger the Trigger Customer Call tool, which is the Open API tool, which we will be using in the next step to trigger specific Logic App. So let me show you how it looks like from the Logic App perspective. This is Open API tool, and that Open API tool is kicking off the Logic App with specific information which is being captured through Fabric Data Agent. So we are passing customer name, we are passing phone number, we are passing product information, we are passing expiring date, discount information. Those variables are being passed through Logic App to our conversational AI engine. This is the view from the Logic App perspective. You can see that in our post HTTP request, we are calling ElevenLabs batch calling, and we are submitting the outbound call, which then is being processed to specific agent with specific agent ID, and also we are selecting the telephony number, which has already been configured on ElevenLabs agent. Marina, could you tell us a little bit about agent which has been configured in ElevenLabs environment?
Yes, for this demo, we created an agent in ElevenLabs designed to call customers using personalized information. At the start of the conversation, the agent already knows details like the customer preferred language and information about their product, and of course, it can communicate in all 80 supported languages. For this agent, we chose a natural voice that feels right for a real conversation, and we used ElevenLabs' most expressive model, V3. And next, we move into the tool options. At the end of each call, we use a tool to send the collected data back to the Logic App using a post method. This includes details like customer names, a summary of the conversation, sentiment analysis, whether the customer wants to extend, and for how long.
Yes, this is where the magic happens. All of those elements from the conversation flow and all of those data points, they are being captured by AI implemented inside of conversational AI engine in ElevenLabs. And then we are able to get those details in the real-time manner by using Post API. And of course, at the end of that process flow, data is landing back into our lakehouse. And in our lakehouse, we have a conversation results table to which Logic App is posting that information back. So you can see that the data from the conversations is being stored in the tables. And this is the conversation result table. When I will refresh it, you will see 3 new records which have been already captured during our conversation. You can see that we have already performed a couple of recordings together with Marina and Alexandra, and you can see our previous tests which we performed today. And of course, those are the results which have been captured from the conversation, and they are fully customized. They can be customized in ElevenLabs engine. Of course, we can connect with this data from the Lakehouse directly in Power BI, and we can visualize those results in a Power BI dashboard, or maybe in the advanced web application, which will be connected with our data, which is stored in a Lakehouse. So this is the overall solution. Let's go back to our presentation, which we have prepared together with Marina and Alexandra. Business impact. From the business point of view, of course, the impact is straightforward. This is an approach which can help increase renewal rates by reaching customers proactively at the right time. Also, it's helping us to reduce the churn risk by moving beyond passive reminders into guided interaction. Also, we are improving engagement, comparing with traditional channels like emails or SMS. And finally, also, this is the fully automated process, which means that this is scalable and it's operationally efficient. The value is not just a better technology, but also it's better timing, better engagement, and better customer outcomes. Key takeaways from this demo and from this presentation. First, conversational AI is becoming a new customer experience layer. Second, the Microsoft ecosystem enables end-to-end intelligent workflows around the enterprise data. And also, as a third, when data, AI, and automation are combined together, we can have engagement which is happening in the real-time manner. And finally, this pattern is production relevant and it can be used far beyond this one single scenario which we have just presented. The thinking about main thought from this demo, every dataset can become a conversation. So on top of every dataset which we are storing in our lakehouses, we can transform them into conversational layer and we can start asking questions about that, even with our customers. So I would like to thank you for going together with us for this demo session. We hope this session showed how enterprise data and AI orchestration and conversational voice can work together in a practical customer experience scenario. Thank you very much, Alexandra and Marina, for performing this demo together with me, and I'm wishing you a wonderful day. Thank you very much.